Donald Trump says the Federal Reserve, Janet Yellen, have kept interest rates historically low to help President Obama claim that he's the guy who brought the economy back. Andy Puzder is with us. He is a newly minted economic advisor to Donald Trump and the CEO of CKE Restaurants, which runs Arby's and Carl's Jr. Have I got that right there, Andy?
No, it's Hardee's and Carl's Jr.
Hardee's.
Although the guy that runs Arby's is a buddy of mine, but it's Hardee's and Carl's Jr.
I'm very sorry. Very sorry. You get awfully sensitive about who you run. Okay. Now then, do you think Trump's got a point? You're the newcomer economic advisor to Donald Trump. He says it's a false economy. All the Fed has done is finance, Janet Yellen has financed President Obama's failure. I guess you agree with that?
Well, look, it is very strange. You've got a lot of talk from the left about how we're at full employment and the economy is very strong. But you look at the numbers, GDP over the past 4 quarters averaging about 1.2%. The Fed said it's going to average 2% going forward rather than the 3 or 4% we need. Labor participation at 63% or below for 29 straight months, which is a terrible number. And then they talk about raising the interest rate 1/4 point like it's a huge deal. You know, if we had an economy as strong as the left contends, as the Democrats contend, then 1/4% interest rate increase would be like a blip. It wouldn't be a major concern.
Look,
but the Fed is so afraid to raise interest rates.
All over the world, central banks and governments have made the same mistake. You print money, you go to 0 interest rates, hoping that that will revive the economy. All over the world, they've done the same thing. Nobody has said, cut taxes, stimulate private enterprise. That's what Trump's saying.
That's exactly what Trump's saying. And look at the effect it's had on the stock market. You know, if you're not going to invest in bonds, if you're a pension fund, you need returns. You're not going to go to low interest-bearing instruments. You're not going to invest in Europe and China because they're having their problems. That means all that money goes into the U.S. stock market so you can invest in American businesses. And it's simple supply and demand. We're hitting new highs, record highs in all of the markets because the supply of American businesses is limited and the demand is very high. When interest rates start to go up, you know, you could have a bubble that bursts. And this is what Trump's trying to say. We need better tax policy, better regulatory policy, better energy policy, better trade policy, so we can generate genuine economic growth, not this false growth.
I just want to play you a soundbite from Joe Biden, Vice President Biden. Now, he appeared recently addressing a labor union. He attacked Donald Trump, but just listen to how he attacked Trump. Watch this.
He really does believe that the problem is American workers are lazy. What's he say? The purpose is to make a profit. The purpose is to make a profit fairly, to make a profit. If you think for a minute, think he has any idea the conversations that went on at your kitchen table this morning?
The thing is to make a profit fairly, and he will decide what's fair and what's not. Go at it, please.
Look, you know, Uncle Joe, he's a little like the Yogi, for old baseball fans like me, he's a little like the Yogi Berra of modern politics. You never know what's going to come out of the guy's mouth, and it doesn't necessarily make sense. Donald Trump absolutely does not think American workers are lazy. He's never said he thought American workers are lazy. He wants to create better, higher-paying jobs with better trade policy, better tax policy, better regulatory and energy policy. Look, and the American working class knows this. That's his support. His support is American working class and middle class individuals. He's not drinking wine with rich people in the Hamptons. He's in Detroit talking to African American voters about how he's going to help create jobs and lift them out of poverty. His appeal is to the very workers that Joe Biden thinks are lazy. You can't listen to Joe Biden too long without laughing, and you know that one made me laugh.
Well, we subjected you to it. All right, Andy Puzder, thanks very much, sir. We'll see you again soon.
My pleasure, Stuart.